Hey guys, welcome back to the homestead. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build this lifted chicken house that you see behind me. We built this structure in about 3 days, and with the prices of lumber where they're at right now, which is astronomically high, where we're located, it costs about $650 for a 2x4. We spent about $1,200. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how I built this thing. All right guys, so today is our starting day. The goal here in this build is to make something as sturdy as possible. I want to save as much money as possible on building materials, so all this framing is going to be 24 on center, and then we're trying to cut some corners so far as lumber. So today we are putting in our posts, and because the lay of the land is a little bit slanted, let me show you. What do you think that is, like 2 feet, 1.5 feet?
Sure, at least.
So because the lay of the land's about, 2 foot difference from front to back. We're burying the posts in the front. I got 16 footers for the front, 16 foot 4x4s for the front, and then 12 foot 4x4s for the back. And obviously these things are going to be treated. They're going to go in some quick set cement. So the way we're getting this whole thing square and where we know the posts need to go into is Adam just built a little square, because this is going to be the shape of the building, 8x8, and then lay it over the holes, and we can just drop our posts right in there and cement them in. And we'll hold them together, screw onto the sides of this frame, and that'll hold everything together. So when we're setting these posts in, we're using this bracing system. Adam cut a number of these little pickets, nailing them in the ground here, and then attach them at the bottom, and then you get your post level, and then attach it up here. This will make sure that when we're setting everything in, so far as the floor to the chicken coop, everything's nice and square, plumbed out. All right, so we got one wall built. These studs are 24 on center, about something like that. We're using less lumber on the walls just because we really don't need, the walls are gonna have sheathing on them, and they're not gonna really be doing much of anything. But we did ended up making the floor 16 on center, and then we're gonna put some 3/4 inch plywood for the floor. We ended up raising the floor up a bunch. Now it's about, I don't know, let's say almost 5 feet off the ground. About 5 feet off the ground. Because this underneath section is gonna be where the pigs go. So we'll get this floor laid in, and then we'll start raising the walls up. So here we're just gonna go through and put liquid nails on all the studs. This will just help the OSB flooring that's going down to get some nice adhesion, and then we're going to screw it down. glue stick.
Yeah. He's making stuff out of like scooters and putting engines on them.
All right, so we don't know what the exact pitch that this roof is going to be. So we're making it up on one side, then we'll translate it to the other side.
Lock that in. That's the angle we need.
Okay.
I would never trust myself.
74 3/4.
Uh-huh. Eyeballing an inch and a half over.
Oh, my hand.
It's close.
Don't hit my cameras. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. No. No, thank you. And just like that, the completed product. So let's go ahead and I'll do a walkthrough and I'll kind of show you a little bit about this. So overall, this is a 8x8 structure. So the square itself is 8x8. All we did basically was kind of invent this in our heads, and then we just started working. In my philosophy with building structures for your animals, that's how it should be. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to build here, but I knew the idea that was in my head. I knew I wanted it lifted up off the ground. I knew I wanted the pigs to be able to sleep underneath of it. And at the end of the day, this is not, you know, I'm not building a house for people here. This is super simple, straightforward. You have birds in the top that weigh about, I don't know, less than a half a pound a piece, and pigs down in the bottom that are gonna be sleeping on the ground. So it's not rocket science here, guys. When you have a vision in your head and you want to build it, just go for it. You make mistakes, you'll figure it out along the way, and you'll work through those mistakes and build what you want to build. So that's what we did in this case. So this is an 8x8 square, and it's lifted up off the ground because I wanted our pigs to be able to sleep underneath it. We used corrugated metal roofing on the top and smart siding on the sides to complete and tie the structure together. Later, we're going to come back through here and we're gonna put smart siding trim along the edges. So here and here, we're gonna use smart siding trim. That's gonna be white. We're gonna trim out the window. We're gonna make the whole thing look halfway decent so that when people are riding down the road and looking at the homestead, you know, we don't look like rednecks over here, and this looks nice, like a well put together structure, which it is. So the idea here is that you can stick whatever you want under here. You know, you can make this whole structure taller. You could put goats under here. Later, you know, after the summer, we're gonna put a front on this with a little door so that in the winter, when our pigs go in here, we have 4 pigs, and they go in here, they can have a nice, dry, warm spot to sleep. So as you can tell from the side view here, we tried to really build this into the hill. We wanted it to look like it was kind of coming up out of the hill a little bit, and then we slanted the roof back down this way, and it kind of mirrored the way that the land was going this way. We just wanted to look halfway decent that it was sitting up on this hill. The other thing we wanted to do was kind of nestle it inside of this tree. We really love this tree that's on the side of our hill, and it gets a lot of foliage in the summer, and so this thing just bursts with leaves. And so what we tried to do was kind of tuck it inside of that tree a little bit. We left some branches hanging over around the sides so that when this thing is bursting forth with foliage, it's kind of shading the structure a little bit and giving the birds and the pigs some nice shade in the heat of the day. So that was the goal there. So let me kind of give you a walkthrough on the back side here, which is the entrance for us and the chickens. So again, as you can see behind me, we used the door that we had sitting in our basement. We try to reuse materials as much as possible, especially with the price of building materials these days. You want to try to reuse what you got, to be honest. The chicken entrance, or the chicken ramp, we actually had to stake in the ground. This is probably about a 3-foot piece of rebar that we hammered into the ground. We drilled it through the smart siding, and then on the underside it has a 2x4 to bolster the structure a little bit. So it's screwed through that smart siding, screwed through the 2x4, and then it goes about, I don't know, 2.5 feet into the ground, something like that. And then we ripped these little pieces of 2x4 and just used them as tracks along the way so that the chickens would have something to climb up and put their claws on as they went into their door. So simple little chicken door here. We got a barrel bolt kind of locking it in, 2 little strap hinges on the bottom, and all I do in the morning is I come out here, pull this thing down, lower it down. It's got tracks on the back side so that they can crawl down and get in there. You know, one thing I didn't say is the benefit to lifting the whole structure is you have a floor now on the bottom of the chicken coop, so you don't have to worry about predators getting up underneath. So that was a huge bonus to lifting the whole structure. So later we'll come back through and we will put hardware cloth, so some metal in this gap right here. We wanted the gap in the roof to be able to ventilate. So one of the most crucial things with building a chicken coop is making sure that you have enough proper ventilation. Ventilation and clean water are, you know, some of the the highest causes of disease in chickens. So we wanted to make sure that we had enough ventilation. We built this little, just a quick ladder going into, secured it to the edge of the chicken coop, and let's go in here and I'll show you the inside. How's it going, ladies? Here's our nesting boxes. I think you can get these, I'll put a link of these in the description below, but you can get these, I think, at Tractor Supply, I'm not sure. They're very simple. They have ledges on the outside that you can raise up to block them at night, lower them down in the day. Chickens go in here. We put alfalfa hay in here because this is what we feed our pigs. It's just great nesting material as well. And all you do is secure them to the wall just like that. Over here we have our roost bars. We have one up top, which they love, the higher elevation, and then one below, and they're just staggered from each other so they don't poop on each other, basically. Here's the window. The other great thing about putting a window in a chicken coop, that you can open this bad boy up, and now we have all sorts of airflow coming through here. So this is the back side of the chicken door. All we did was frame around the edges, and then after we framed, we went back and cut the outside out so that we had a perfect square. One thing we are gonna do in the future is we're gonna put an electronic door right there so that in the morning it opens up automatically, and the night it closes up automatically. Those doors are really great. They even close and then they open one more time so that if any chickens are left sitting out at night and they're waiting for the door to open, it'll open back up and they can come on in and then it'll close for the night. So we got the dimensions offline and we cut our door the same size so that when we come back later to put the electronic door in, we can do that no problem. So the pig house down here is perfect for our 4 Kune pigs. We have 4 Kune pigs. 2 of them are full grown, 2 of them are still growing, but this is plenty of space, 8 by 8 for them to snuggle down in. Pigs sleep on top of each other real close, so this is no problem. This is no, this is plenty of space for them to sleep. And so we store our alfalfa hay down here, and in the future I'll kind of pack it up along the walls as well. One thing pigs love doing is they love taking their hay and building little nests with it. So I'll stack up some alfalfa hay here, and this is plenty of a wind block for them to get cozy at night to sleep down in, and they love it. They're already sleeping down here. So that's it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the build of our lifted chicken coop and pig house. If you haven't already, and if you want to follow our journey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell next to it, and hit all, and you'll get all the notifications for our future videos that we release. If you have any comments, go ahead and shoot them down in the comments section below. We will try our best to answer all of those. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see y'all in the next video.